everyone, I'm Daphne Carroll. I am the instructional coach at Minor Elementary, and I am about to give you a video tutorial that will help you with your students at home learning the strategy of partial product for multiplication. Some of the strategies your students are learning today to solve math problems might be different than the strategies you used growing up. So these tutorials are to help you and guide you in case your students or your children need help at home, and it will help you to understand why they're learning the strategies they are. Common Core really helps students to develop their number sense and understand the reasons behind the standard algorithms that they will eventually learn, which we all know are more efficient. But these strategies, while they may take longer at first, will really help students to understand why they work and the reasons behind those steps in this problem. So today we're going to explore the partial product strategy for multiplication. Okay, the partial product strategy for multiplication is a strategy that we use to help students develop their number sense when multiplying a two-digit by two-digit number. And it may seem like there are more steps involved than the standard algorithm that you all grew up learning, but it really helps them to see what they're doing. So we're going to start with the problem 32 times 19. That is obviously a problem that I cannot do in my head right away, so I'm going to go ahead and use the partial product strategy to help me solve this problem. So I always like for my students to circle the go-to number. That's the number that they begin using to multiply. And in this case, we go to our ones place, which is the 9, and I'm going to go ahead and circle that. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to multiply the ones. We're going to multiply 9 times 2, and I'm going to keep track of that on this side. So 9 times 2, we know, or we hope we know, is 18. So I'm going to go ahead and write 18 here. Okay, the next thing I need to do is I need to multiply that 9 times 30, and it's very important for the students to understand that they're not multiplying 9 times 3, that this 3 is actually a 30 because it's in the tens place. So 9 times 30, well, I know that 9 times 3 is 27, and I also know that if I add the 0 to that, it's going to be 270. So I'm going to write my 270 here, being very careful to line up my hundreds, my tens, and my ones in the correct columns. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my 10, and yes, that is not a 1, that is a 1 in the tens place, which makes it a 10. And sometimes we have to repeat that over and over for students to understand until they grasp that number sense concept. So the next step is to multiply my 10 times the 2. So over here I'm going to keep track 10 times 2. We know is 10, 20. Okay, and then I'm going to write my 20 here, being careful to line my tens and my ones up. And then the last step is going to be to multiply 10 times the 30. Again, remembering that this is not a 3, but it is a 3 in the tens place, which makes it 30. So I'm going to write my 10 times 30 over here. And I know that 1 times 3 is 3, and I have to add my 2 zeros, which makes 300. And then simply teach the students to add those numbers up very carefully. So I know that 8 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 8. 1 plus 7 plus 2 plus 0 is 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to carry my 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so the product of 32 times 19 is 608. By really focusing on each and every step of the multiplication process for this strategy, it helps me to understand why the number is so large at the end. I hope that you and your students will better understand partial product multiplication after viewing this tutorial.